My name is Renae Gray. I live in Cambridge. I'm a 40-plus year Cambridge resident and probably 15 years in support, or commonly known as Area 4. It's so great to see so many people out this afternoon. And I'm just going to talk about this process or some of these issues from a pretty individualistic kind of point of view. I think it's not so individualistic that you can't draw connections to it. But the professor's comments were just so right on. I mean, they're almost a parallel. There's almost a parallel activity. There's even I'll be a little bit paranoid right now. Maybe there's like a real estate rule book, and they just pass it on from city to city, and we haven't gotten the book yet because we're fighting the same fights over and over again against sometimes some formidable institutions. The first thing I want to say is I want to thank the Cambridge Residents Alliance for their work and their organizing. Because of it, for myself personally, it's heightened my awareness about the environment, traffic, other things that we don't necessarily attribute to, well, there's going to be a tall building. It's not just going to be a tall building. There's going to be a lot of tall buildings that look a certain way, that house certain things. What's been most fascinating to me as an individual is there's almost a language around this development issue that only some people understand. The rest of us are trying to decode the language before we can even begin the fight to counter it. And so I was at the city council the other night, and they were talking about the sustainability and the livability of Kendall Square. And I was thinking, don't we all want that? I think everybody in this room would say they want a sustainable community, a livable community. And our communities are being impacted in such a way that we can't honestly say this is now a vibrant, sustainable community. It's got a lot of things going on in it. Most of you who live in Cambridge know that on any given day, there's traffic on Broadway, Prospect, Columbia, and Mass Ave. If any of you have been trying to get to a meeting on the other side of town at particular times of day, you know what a challenge it is. It should not take us, now this is currently the way things are, it takes a half an hour to 40 minutes, sometimes an hour. I've been stuck on Western Avenue for 20 minutes. That's one street before we get to the others. So it's just really heightens my awareness about what's connected to these issues of development. The issue of sustainability and livability in Kendall Square is about the convenience of people who work there. It's almost like duplicating a university. Everything you need to do your job, to get there, to come from there, is right there. You don't have to do anything to make your life a good life. There's cafes, there's art installations, there, and I'm not making fun, but it's all right there. All you have to do is sit and see. The rest of us have to go someplace to find some green space, to relax or de-stress or whatever. But we're building communities where it's just built in for their convenience. So basically the sustainability and livability that's being talked about by the developers is for the people who are going to work there. the worker bees. They need to have the convenience of housing in their community. They need to have restaurants and things to amuse them along with their work. And so they have all of that. I live here, and I can't say that I have all of that. In fact, it's being encroached on daily. Now, I don't walk as much as I should. I'm finding it a challenge to find a peaceful walk route in my neighborhood. Okay, so how about the developers let us use a gym? I've been told that's such a liability that we can't use somebody's gym while they're taking up our space and interrupting the roads and the pathways. The people who live here and work here, particularly those of us who don't have a car, we have the maximum impact of all of these changes on our lives. We pay more for food, i.e. the Shaws in Central Square. They are out of my budget. For poor people, it is it's fast food or nowhere in Central Square to eat. We have nowhere to bring our families to celebrate accomplishments, weddings, funerals, deaths. Nothing in our immediate community can accommodate a family gathering. Maybe that's just me. Nowhere can we purchase a present, a wedding present, a birthday present. I just feel like a new dress today present. I don't have a car. Target is the nearest in Somerville. That's 2 buses most of the time, if that's what I want to do. I'm most interested in a process that allows the communities that are most impacted to have a fair share of the community benefits, and a process that allows citizens and residents to say what they want and what they want to see. I am so tired of being in meetings where what I want is being dictated by somebody else. By the size of the building, we just gave them approval to build. By the location, by the lack of access. My life is being impacted on a daily basis, but that's okay. That's the price I pay for living in Cambridge. Yeah, I could go somewhere else, but I'm staying where I am because every day is changing. The diversity that Cambridge touts is getting less and less. If we physically look around our neighborhoods, we see less and less diversity. More and more people are moving in and out of our neighborhoods because they can't afford to live there. This area is becoming a innovation startup mecca. What I hear is cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. No jobs for our kids, no partnership with schools to improve their education so they can get jobs in those buildings, in those high-tech companies. I don't see really affordable housing outside of certain neighborhoods. Already we have traffic jams all across the city and very few quiet spaces in our neighborhoods. The very fabric of our neighborhood and community is changing. It feels like a takeover, not a collaboration, not a partnership, not a working with. Already experiencing the pitting against one another. It's already in place, fully in place. I think the only takeaway I want to leave you all with is a community benefits process that recognizes the impact of the development on the community, and the community itself decides what it needs and wants. It's an interesting dynamic when you have community benefits that go to the coffers of the city, which means that everybody but that neighborhood gets a piece of that. I mean, I don't claim to be an expert on anything. I'm just passing on observations, things that I see, things that, our city administrator just make want to say, you got to stop and think about it. So we're asking, as Nancy said, for a slowdown of this process. We've asked for a master plan. We've asked to be able to know, when is it going to end? Where's the bottom line on the neighborhoods and the communities? Thank you.